I'm going to be honest. I never thought in a gazillion trillion years I'd be reacting to a High School Musical conspiracy theory video, because High School Musical is by far the most garbage flaming pile of shit Disney has ever put out. Nah, honestly, I'm kidding. I actually don't remember High School Musical at all because it's been so many years since I watched it. But I just figured this is not a movie that like would deserve a conspiracy theory to be made of. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a movie you think a conspiracy theory would be formed out of. But here we are. We're about to check it out. So without further ado, grab your popcorn, like the video, subscribe. Let's get straight to it. I've already made this intro like 20 times. I'm not redoing it. Here we go.
It's a team leader, not a singer.
Do you ever think maybe I could be both?
Our team is coming apart because of your singing thing. I don't dance.
Yo, this is
I've
about to be
always
crazy.
thought there was something disturbing about High School Musical. I know that sounds
Nah, I totally agree. There is something disturbing. It's all the goddamn fucking singing.
strange because these movies were made to be anything but disturbing. They are the quintessential cheesy Disney Channel originals where everyone is
the
always
OG Disney
smiling
logo.
and singing, and the biggest conflict is whether Troy will play basketball or sing in a musical. They are by no means disturbing films. But if you really think about it, you'll notice these movies all have a very strange contradiction.
Look at that guy.
These are musicals where the characters are singing and dancing about the fact that they don't want to sing and dance.
Hip hop is my passion. I love to pop and lock and jam and break.
There are scenes where Chad tells Troy he shouldn't sing, immediately followed by Chad suddenly breaking into a giant choreographed song and dance.
So, dude, you know that school musical thing? Is it true you get extra credit just for auditioning?
Who cares? You ever think LeBron James or Shaquille O'Neal auditioned for their school musical?
I gotta get my head in the game.
Yeah, I never even noticed that.
There's even a song called I Don't Dance that Chad sings while he's dancing.
I don't dance, no.
It's a really weird contradiction that's always kind of creeped me out for some reason.
Yeah, is he
It
dancing on
almost
the
gives
walls?
you the impression that these characters aren't in control or are aware of what their bodies are doing. But obviously, we're not really supposed to question the logic of these songs, because that's just kind of how musicals work. These are just fantasy, non-diegetic songs that only we, the audience, can see. There's nothing strange about them. So I tried my best to just ignore the creepy feeling I got from these movies, but the more I rewatched them, the more I couldn't deny that there was something very wrong with the students at East High. I
Facts.
believe that behind the smiles and the singing is a very dark secret about this school. A secret that the filmmakers intentionally hid within these movies 17 years ago that today
17 years
I
ago?
intend to solve. This
Yeah,
is
that's crazy.
the High School Musical theory.
Yo, this is insane. 17 years ago.
You love watching Alex Bale's videos on the internet, but oh no, you've been hacked by a computer
Bro, what the
virus.
fuck?
If only there was a safer way to use
We're getting
the
this ad out of
internet.
here.
Introduce
Use the internet.
your
We're jumping
It's the
past
best
that ad.
VPN.
Thanks
So,
for the free promo.
what exactly is happening when the characters in these movies sing? I'm not talking about when they're performing on stage in front of a crowd. I'm talking about when the characters are in the school hallways or the cafeteria, and suddenly, without any warning or explanation, the entire school breaks out into a highly choreographed musical number and then just moves on from it like nothing ever happened.
Seriously, guys.
I forgot how cringy
This
all
song I
that
gotta make
was.
bank.
Like, what's really going on here? Are the characters aware of the fact that they just sang an entire song? Was this an impromptu flash mob that they planned? No, obviously not. We're supposed to assume that these are just fantasy sequences that only we, the audience, can see. Or that's what I originally thought. But then I took a closer look at these musical numbers and I started to notice a very strange pattern. In the first High School Musical, Gabriella is the new girl at school, and the first time she experiences one of these spontaneous musical numbers is in the Stick to the Status Quo song in the cafeteria. Now, Gabriella doesn't enter until about halfway through the song, but she has a very interesting reaction to it. Unlike unlike everyone else, Gabriella doesn't join in. Instead, she seems very confused and disoriented by what's going on. She's honestly reacting like how you or I would if we suddenly saw our entire school singing and dancing without any explanation. Okay, but maybe she's just nervous about people staring at her or something. This doesn't necessarily mean she's actually aware of this fantasy song. But this isn't the only time where something like this happens. In High School Musical 2, when Troy starts dancing in Work This Out, look at everyone's initial reaction. For a moment, they're all like, whoa, why the hell are you dancing, Troy? At first, they are confused by the nature of these spontaneous songs before they all magically join in too. And if you still don't think that this is weird, then let me show you one final example that can't be explained away so easily. An example that legitimately creeps me out every time I see it. High School Musical 3 once again has another big cafeteria musical number with Sharpay and Ryan.
Imagine having everything we ever dreamed. Don't you want it? Maybe. Can't you see it?
Kinda.
And there's initially nothing strange about it. Until when the background students suddenly join in on the song without any explanation. Look closely at Ryan's reaction.
You want it all, want it.
Oh, he's losing his mind.
It's very easy to miss with Sharpay in front of him, but Ryan is clearly extremely confused by the other students suddenly dancing around him. Unlike the other examples, there is no other possible explanation here. In this moment, Ryan is 100% aware of the fact that he is experiencing an unexplainable, spontaneous musical scene, and he looks deeply disturbed by this.
Yo, that's it. Like, why would he actually make that face? Like he's honest.
This is a very intentional choice by the filmmakers. They are directly telling us that we should be questioning the logic.
Yo, he's onto something though, because I guarantee you when they're recording this, they're like, yo, look as freaked out as possible. Like, it's,
of these musical scenes, which has some pretty disturbing implications about this world. Now, eventually Ryan does get pulled into the song like everyone else, but
he got
look
brainwashed.
At what happens after the song ends and we come back to reality.
The brainwash is wearing off. Oh my god.
It's ours, Ryan.
He's freaked
out.
Not
only are they both still posing and out of breath, like they did actually sing that entire song, it wasn't just something that they imagined, but also look at Ryan's face.
Oh, is this supposed to be in their imagination?
He is once again very confused about what just happened before moving on like everything.
It was supposed to be in their imagination, but this is happening in real life.
It's normal. We are consistently being shown that these big spontaneous musical numbers are actually happening, but it isn't something that the characters are choosing to do. It's like something is taking over their bodies and forcing them to sing and dance, but they only get these rare little moments of awareness and utter terror about what's going on before they're forced to forget about it and move on like nothing ever happened. That's why these movies feel so disturbing to me, and this only gets stranger when we take a look at what happens when characters leave East High.
Sharpay has always been in the spotlight, but to follow her dream, she'll take on her toughest role yet.
Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure is a spin-off after High School Musical 3 that follows Sharpay moving to New York to pursue her dreams of becoming a Broadway star. But what's strange about this movie is that it's not a musical. I mean, Sharpay does perform some diegetic songs on stage for an audience, but unlike all the other movies in this franchise, this movie has no spontaneous fantasy songs, which is really weird because Sharpay is like the most iconic musical character in this franchise. It almost feels like whatever causes people to spontaneously sing in this universe only exists in East High, or at least in the surrounding area. SNL did this parody sketch with Zac Efron that feels more accurate every time I watch these movies.
High School Musical 4, new senior class!
I'm here to talk about what happens after you leave East High. Here's the deal. No one sings at college. What? People just stared at me. And from what I can tell, this is America's only singing high school.
Remember how in the first High School Musical, Gabriella seemed kind of aware and confused by the spontaneous songs at first? it wasn't just a quick moment for her. She never joined in on Stick to the Status Quo. You probably never realized this, but Gabriella never actually gets a non-diegetic song until 2/3 of the way through the first movie, despite her being one of the two main characters of this musical. What if this is because she's the new girl at school and whatever's making people sing hasn't fully affected her yet?
It's in the
Now,
food.
there are some exceptions where
in the school
characters
lunch.
still spontaneously sing outside of the school, like in High School Musical 2 when they're in a country club for the summer, but that's still nearby the school in Albuquerque, and they haven't really been there for very long. The main exception to this is at the end of High School Musical 3 when Gabriella briefly goes to Stanford as a part of early enrollment, and she still has a non-diegetic song.
Take my hand, take the lead.
And they make a really big point about how far away Stanford is from East High.
Promise tonight in Albuquerque. It's 1,000 miles away.
So it seems like this would disprove the idea that the songs can only happen near the school, but then I took a closer look at this scene. So Gabriella went to Stanford as a part of an early enrollment and had to miss out on prom at East High, but then
Stanford?
Troy decides
Yeah,
to
right.
also skip prom and instead dance with Gabriella at Stanford. And this is when we get their non-diegetic song.
Cause my heart is wherever you are.
But during the song, they're both briefly transported to East High's prom with all of their friends.
They never went to Stanford. They were at the high
Now,
school the whole time.
obviously, this is just supposed to be a fantasy cutaway. They aren't actually back at the school. Stuff like this happens all the time in the musical numbers from these movies. These are all just imaginary fantasy sets. It's kind of like Troy and Gabriella are imagining they're back at East High and are incorporating things from their real-life surroundings into the fantasy. But if that's true, then why can we already see the exact same stone pillar set 30 minutes ago at East High? This was not part of some fantasy scene. They clearly actually built this set at East High. And this was before Gabriella even decided to go to Stanford early. But then why can we see the fantasy pillars backstage? Because in the Stanford song, the East High prom part isn't the fantasy. Stanford is. Gabriella never actually left East High.
Well,
We are
you.
shown time and time again that these spontaneous musical numbers can cause vivid fantasy hallucinations of other places. So I think that whatever's causing Gabriella to break out into song also caused her to hallucinate going to Stanford, when in reality, she never actually left.
You might be ready to say goodbye to East High, but East High's not ready to say goodbye to you.
This honestly makes more sense than Troy being able to drive all the way to Stanford and back in time for the school musical with his piece of shit car that's constantly breaking down in this movie.
I'm pushing. Push harder.
He drove 1,000 miles in
If
that.
my truck falls apart because I'm spending all my free time on stage, it's all your fault.
Something at East High is manipulating all of these students, causing them to sing and dance and even hallucinate to the point where they can't even leave. But that brings me to
Yo,
the
they
question
never
that
left.
you've probably been waiting for me to answer. What exactly is causing all of this? Why does this school seem to have this strange power over all of the students? And to be honest, for the first time ever in one of these videos, I don't actually have an answer for you. I have 5. Yes, I have come up with 5 different possible explanations for the strange phenomenon going on at East High. For the first time
Yeah, what
ever,
is that,
we are
Mike?
doing an official Alex Bale theory
What is
iceberg,
that?
and you get to decide which one you like the
What
best.
kind of BBC
and I'm going to
mic
be
is
sharing
that?
each of them with you in order from sort of tame and realistic to completely batshit insane, crazy, and stupid. Some of these are going to be a little more in-depth than the others, and some of these are just going to be kind of fucking crazy, so, you know, just mentally prepare yourself for that. Without further ado, starting with the very tip of the iceberg, here is the most boring, tame, believable theory I can come up with.
Yo, look at the tip of the iceberg.
This is all just lazy writing and coincidences, and I'm overthinking little things that actually mean nothing. This one's probably the correct answer. I mean, this is probably the correct answer to all of my theories, but, you know, that's no fun, and you're not watching a YouTube fan theory for the, you know, the boring, realistic answer, so, you know, let's just move on from this one. I'm not actually counting this as one of the 5.
Thank goodness. That was theory number 0.
I've had this theory planned for a while, but fucking Danny Gonzalez kind of jokingly beat me to it first. So, I don't know. Go check out his video. It's very funny. In 1518 Strasbourg, France, a woman named Frau Trophia walked into the streets and reportedly started silently dancing without any explanation. Soon, other people began to join her, and over the next couple of weeks, hundreds of people all began uncontrollably silently dancing with no explanation or way to stop. Many collapsed from exhaustion, and some even reportedly died from heat stroke. This became known as the Dancing Plague of 1518, and it is believed to be one of the most infamous cases of mass hysteria in history. The leading theory behind why this happened is because of extreme stress from famine and diseases at the time, but mass hysteria is something that still happens in many different forms to this day, even to students in high school.
Could mass hysteria be responsible for dozens of high schoolers' unexplained hiccups?
Health officials say 12 girls from Leroy Junior Senior High School have exhibited similar symptoms.
A doctor treating them says they suffered from conversion disorder, a very real condition resulting from trauma or stress. In the Leroy case, most of the sufferers attend the high school and junior high school there.
So maybe it's as simple as the stress of being in high school and the pressures of conforming to the status quo was enough to cause a mass hysteria at East High that resulted in students spontaneously breaking out into song and dance. I think this is a very plausible explanation for what's happening in these movies, and it really ties in well with the core conflict these characters are facing. And if mass hysteria is this low on my iceberg, then you know these next theories are about to get really weird.
Yo, theory number 5 is below the iceberg.
Okay,
Who the hell is
hear me
that?
out. I think Zeke is up to something. Zeke is one of the basketball side characters, and his whole thing is that he secretly loves to bake, but no one at school accepts that about him, at least
It's
until
the
the end
baking.
of the first movie.
I bake. What? I love to bake.
It's all
Strudel
inside the
scones, even
baking.
apple pandowdy.
There's not a ton to his character. He's just kind of the funny food guy. He's always giving people stuff he baked.
I baked these fresh today. A pie. I
Who
baked
knows
you
what
some
he put in
cookies.
there?
Hey, ladies, you guys want a cupcake?
But the one
Yo, what did I say in the beginning of this video? It's in the food, my nigga. It's in the food. I'm telling you, they're taking whatever his name is, Leroy, Zeke, whatever it is, Tyrone. They're taking Tyrone's baking, and they're getting it out of their mind. They're getting zooted off of it. 100%. I guarantee you. I promise you that's the answer. I thought of it early in the video. I thought it was from the school lunch, but I had no idea who the hell Zeke was. Now I know it's coming from him.
strange thing that I noticed about Zeke is his relationship with Sharpay. So Zeke has a crush on Sharpay, and he tries to ask her out.
Hey, Sharpay. Well, I just thought maybe you could watch me play ball sometime or something.
And she fucking hates him.
I'd rather stick pins in my eyes.
Evaporate, tall person.
But then he bakes her some cookies, and she suddenly has a very different reaction.
These cookies are genius. The best things I've ever tasted.
What's he putting in those cookies? Okay, well, whatever. That's kind of weird, but, you know, it's just a typical Disney Channel gag.
No,
But
it's
then,
literally
by
in
the
the
next
cookies.
movie, Sharpay completely forgets about Zeke and moves on to being obsessed with Troy.
Troy, Sharpay.
Isn't Troy
Sharpay.
gay?
Troy.
But then Zeke gets a job as a chef, and he's really excited to be working near Sharpay.
Chef Michael's gonna teach me the art of Austrian flake pastry. And Sharpay's gonna be where I work every day.
I think we can assume he's probably giving her food again. And then, at the end of High School Musical 2, she's kind of all over him again. There's potentially a pattern here. Then, in High School Musical 3, there's a deleted scene where Zeke is gonna ask her to prom, and once again, he's planning on bringing her more cookies, but then Jason takes them away, and all of a sudden, he seems kinda nervous.
Yeah, she's gonna listen to me, and listen good.
You got this. Now give me the cookies. You don't need these. Go on, get in there.
No,
You're empowered. You got these. No.
Zeke seems to really believe that the cookies are necessary to get Sharpay to go to prom with him. And it turns out he doesn't need them, but the very first thing Sharpay says is,
"Hey, Sharpay."
Zeke, cookies?
Huh, interesting. Also, later he finds out Jason ate the cookies meant for Sharpay, and he is very concerned.
Where's my cookies?
He's about to fall in love with him. He's gonna fall in love with him for sure.
You ate all the cookies?
Those were meant for Sharpay, not you.
Those were apparently only for Sharpay, and now he's concerned about Jason, who later, during graduation, jumps on him in a very similar way to Sharpay.
God! No! God, please, no! No!
What'd he put in those cookies?
No!
What'd he put in those cookies?
Those were meant for Sharpay, not you.
So, what exactly is Zeke putting in these cookies? And look, I'd be willing to just call this a weird running gag with some maybe uncomfortable implications, but it's not just Sharpay that Zeke manipulates with his cookies.
He gave Zach
in
his
the first
cookies?
movie, all the basketball boys.
Yo, his cookies is his wiener.
No!
Yo, did I just mute it?
Gabriella into breaking up, and later they feel bad about it and decide to confess what they did to Troy.
Gabriella won't even talk to me, and I don't know why.
We do.
But look
He
at
needs
what
cookies.
Zeke does first.
I baked these fresh today. You probably want to try one before we tell you the rest.
He gives Troy cookies so that he won't be mad, and it works.
And
Troy
so he'll
is
be in
never
love with
shown
them.
to be even a little upset that they caused his breakup. Zeke's cooking clearly has an effect on people, and he is constantly feeding everyone in these movies.
I'm good for a poolside picnic. What do you say? Zeke even made desserts.
They're cooling. I'll let you know when they're ready. Now out of my kitchen, miss. Hey, ladies, you guys want a cupcake?
Bro, it's like a black mom literally baking some pie in the kitchen.
I bet you those cookies that are always left out in Troy's house were made by Zeke. There's even this weird offhand mention from Troy in the first movie about having trouble remembering the previous night.
Do you remember the night before? No, not at all. All I remember is like
It's cookies.
And he says the only thing he can remember
Yo.
is pink jelly.
Why would he even
remember is,
mention
like,
that?
Pink jelly.
Which, I don't know, kind of sounds like something Zeke could have made him.
I love to bake strudel scones, even apple pandowdy.
What if Zeke is putting something in the food that's causing all the strange behavior we see at East High? But wait, why would Zeke want the entire school to be constantly breaking out into song and dance?
Because he's black.
What do these
Because he's black. He loves to dance because he's black.
songs ultimately accomplish? The songs are ways for characters to express their inner truth. It causes Troy to realize he wants to be in the musical.
Why am I feeling so wrong? My head's in the game, but my heart's in the song.
It causes everyone to break out of the status quo and ultimately accept their fellow students for who they are.
But inside I am stirring, something strange is occurring. It's a secret I need to share.
Which allows Zeke to finally be able to be accepted as someone who wants to bake.
Wear a jock and cook up a mean creme brulee.
Yes, I think the entire reason for all the craziness going on at East High is because Zeke is drugging people with his cooking to make them more accepting of him as a baker.
Someday I hope to make the perfect creme brulee.
I know that this is a really insane idea that has some admittedly uncomfortable implications.
No, there's nothing insane about this, bro. I said it since the beginning of this video. Bro, this is literally, it makes the most sense. He's literally using it to brainwash. Oh my God, case closed.
But, you know, you gotta admit, there is a surprising amount of evidence for it. I couldn't not bring it up. Well, at least we know these theories can't possibly get any weirder than this.
Breaking Bad.
Okay, wait. Just hear me out. Breaking Bad is a dark, gritty crime drama about a chemistry.
Wait, I think I remember seeing Walter White inside of High School Musical. Was he the principal? Wait, Walter White he was a teacher.
Teacher teaming up with one of his former students to build a ruthless drug empire. High School Musical is a movie for babies about Troy trying to decide whether he wants to play basketball or sing in a musical. These are very different. You could not find two pieces of media more polar opposite than High School Musical and Breaking Bad, apart from maybe Blue's Clues and Law & Order. But what if I told you that they actually exist in the same universe?
Unless
they both take place in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They both came out in the mid to late 2000s, and they both heavily feature a high school. This is sort of a meme that's gone around the internet for a while because of these weird similarities. Even Mr. Matt Pat Film Theory, before he retired from YouTube, tried to make a theory about it.
And do you know, as hard as I tried, I couldn't figure out how to prove that High School Musical was in the same universe as Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's actually the reason why Matt Pat retired. It was just the one theory he could never crack.
Hey, if you can make an airtight connection, let me know, because that would be the best theory ever.
Well, okay, Mr. Game Theory, I accept your challenge. Let's see if we can avenge your death. So, with all the strange behavior and hallucinations in High School Musical, there is...
Yo, I just had chills over my body. It all makes sense. The stuff that Walter White was selling, that blue stuff that was going on throughout the whole Breaking Bad series, he was putting that stuff in the cooking to make everyone act like this. Oh my God. I was wondering what he put in, what Zeke or Tyrone, Troy, Daquan, Davius, whatever he was putting inside of his cookies. I was wondering what it was. It was Paul White's magic dust. Whatever his name is from Breaking Bad. Walter White. It was Walter White's magic dust. Walter White's magic dust inside of Zeke's cooking.
There's clearly a possibility that everyone is being drugged. But what if instead of Zeke being behind it, everyone instead got hooked on a new popular drug that's going around town, Heisenberg's signature blue meth?
This is pure glass. This is art.
A drug that Breaking Bad has established can cause hallucinations.
Yo.
And here's something I bet you never realized. Breaking Bad is also technically a musical.
Wait, what? When have they ever had a musical in there? Yo, when is that ever in
One
the
of
show?
the episodes opens with a random band recapping the show's plot in the desert, and it's never acknowledged again. So yes, technically, we can also call Breaking Bad a musical. Gabriella is also referred to as a freaky genius.
I don't want to be the school's freaky genius girl again.
And is shown doing lots of chemistry with blue liquids, and is even shown teaching chemistry using blue rocks. Okay. But these are just, cute little connections. None of this really definitively connects these two worlds. It's gonna take more than that to avenge Matt Pat. Well, let me ask you a question that you've probably never really considered. What is the musical in High School Musical actually about? You might be surprised to hear that we never actually get to see the school musical that Troy and Gabriella auditioned for in the first movie. The movie just literally ends with them at the callbacks. All we really know about the actual musical in High School Musical is that it was written by Kelsey, it's called Twinkletown, and we get to hear a few songs from it.
I've been looking for.
And you know what? The more I looked into the plot of this musical, the more I began to realize how much it eerily lines up with the plot of Breaking Bad. I know that sounds crazy, but just stick with me on this one. The first song is called What I've Been Looking For, and it's sort of vaguely about two people embracing a new relationship together.
Finally found what I've been looking for.
You might assume that it's a romantic relationship since it's sung by Troy and Gabriella, but Ryan assume it's more of a platonic relationship.
It's hard to believe that I couldn't see you were always there beside me.
It's hard to believe that I couldn't see that you were always there beside me. This is a relationship between two people who knew each other for some time before, but only now do they see each other in a new light. Jesse was Walter's student, who he never really thought much of, until he later found out that Jesse was secretly a meth cook.
Honestly, I never expected you to amount to much, but methamphetamine? I didn't picture that.
So they decided to partner up.
I've never had someone who knows me like you do, the way you do.
I've never had someone that knows me like you do. Jesse is the only person in Walter's life who knows about his secret criminal activities.
So lonely before I finally found what I've been looking for.
I I finally found what I've been looking for. Walter was living a sad, unfulfilling life before he partnered with Jessie.
I am an extremely overqualified high school chemistry teacher. I have watched all of my colleagues and friends surpass me in every way imaginable, and within 18 months, I will be dead.
But now he's discovered his true calling and finally found the exciting life that he's been looking for.
You good?
The other song that Troy and Gabriella sing is called Breaking Free.
We're breaking free.
And it's also just kind of vaguely about being yourself and finally being free to do what you want with someone else. And obviously, you can line that up with how Walter breaks free from his old life with Jessie, or more accurately, breaks bad.
We're breaking
bad. Okay, so these songs line up surprisingly well, but at the same time, the lyrics are also pretty vague and could probably line up with a lot of different things if you tried hard enough. But things get really insane when we take a look at our last song from the musical, Bop to the Top.
Yeah, we're gonna bop to the top.
This is a song about the same two characters in a competitive environment doing anything it takes to climb the ladder of success.
Anything it takes to climb the ladder of success.
This is literally the plot of Breaking Bad. They specifically describe this competition in a pretty explicitly violent, brutal way.
Kicking and scratching.
Gotta bump the competition, blow them all away.
Gotta bump the competition, blow them all away.
Yo,
this is what they do in
away.
Breaking Bad.
Bop to the top.
Wipe away your inhibitions.
Wipe away your inhibitions. Walter's whole arc in the show is about giving up his moral qualms and giving into his dark side. He's wiping away his inhibitions to achieve success in the criminal world. They also randomly start speaking Spanish in this song.
Mucho gusto.
Ay, qué fabulosa.
Caliente.
Suave.
And obviously all the Mexican cartel members in Breaking Bad primarily speak Spanish.
Este no habla ni una palabra de español.
Ryan is wearing a fedora just like Heisenberg, and Sharpay is wearing a very blue dress, the signature color of Walter's meth. Heisenberg is dancing with his meth to climb to the top of the criminal world.
Bop to the top.
Wipe away your inhibitions. Work our tails off every day. Gotta bump the competition, blow them all away.
What does this mean in terms of how these universes are actually connected? Maybe Kelsey heard about the legend of Heisenberg, much like that narco corrido band in Breaking Bad, and she decided to secretly write her school musical about it. I mean, if everyone at East High is hooked on Walter's product, then clearly it's a big deal at this school, and it would get more people to watch the school musical. Okay, well there you go, Mr. Matt Pat. There's my attempt at connecting these two pieces of media. I guess this means I get to be the new host of Game Theory? That's how that works? Yeah? Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Those were my High School Musical theories. Make sure to like and subscribe and tell me which one you think is the best. Wait. What do you mean there's two more theories?
Oh,
no.
wow.
No. You can't possibly get crazier than a Breaking Bad High School Musical theory. That's clearly the limit. You can't get any more insane than that.
The Human Zoo.
Welcome everyone. We officially have reached the point of no return in this video.
Yeah,
where
we're
I
too
will
deep.
now try and convince you that East High is not actually a high school, but in
It's a
fact
zoo.
is a human zoo where scientists are secretly watching and experimenting on these students. Yes, I know that is the stupidest thing I have ever said, and yes, like always, I am actually being serious. Okay, so where do we even start with this? In the first High School Musical, Sharpay and Ryan are in the school library, and they're researching the new student at their school, Gabriella Montez.
There's something freaky about her. Where did she say she was from?
They search her name on the internet, and the first two results tell them that Gabriella was an extremely smart student from out of town who's won a bunch of academic awards.
Wow, an Einsteinette.
But we can also very briefly see a third result that reads, Gabriella, San Diego Zoo's new chimp, scientists set up real-time habitat cam. Now, at first, there's nothing all that strange about this. They searched up the name Gabriella, so they're obviously gonna get some irrelevant results about other things with the same name. No big deal. But what's weird is that this is a result about the San Diego Zoo, the same city that we can see Gabriella originally came from. And that's strange because they didn't search up anything about San Diego, they just searched Gabriella's name. The fact that it's from the same city is seemingly a total coincidence. But then there's also the fact that it's about a new chimp at the zoo at the exact same time that Gabriella is a new student at East
why would they
High.
add that?
Okay, that's two strange coincidences, but whatever. Gabriella's obviously not a chimpanzee, and this school is obviously not a zoo. I mean, this is too stupid of an idea to even think about. But then I did think about it, and I kept noticing more of these weird coincidences. At the start of the first movie, listen to what Taylor says when she first sees the basketball guys.
Behold the zoo animals heralding the new year.
Behold the zoo animals? What is going on? This is such a stupid idea, but it keeps coming back. And then I realized the students at this school are constantly being compared to animals.
Hey, what team?
Sharpay's kind of cute too. So is a mountain lion. I smell a rat named Darvis.
Actually, I think it's 2 rats.
You know what I'm gonna do to those 2 overmoved show dogs?
Nothing.
What's up, Doug?
Ducky, how's my dashing boy?
It goes around your neck like a dog collar.
And then the fish turns into a gorgeous prince.
That girl's got more moves than an octopus in a wrestling match.
I know everyone thinks that I'm Sharpay's poodle.
The students even dress up like animals. Okay, but come on, this is still such a stupid idea. Like, even if the students are constantly compared to animals, obviously we know that they're not. They're clearly human, we can see that with our own eyes. Like, what are we even supposed to assume here? That they were animals that somehow turned into humans? No, that is so stupid. End of story, theory debunked. What the fuck? What the fuck? When Taylor is trying to explain to Gabriella why she shouldn't date Troy, she literally shows a diagram of a monkey evolving into a human.
From lowly Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon to early warriors, medieval knights, all leading up to Lunkhead Basketball Man.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. What does this mean? Why are they constantly telling us that these students are animals at a zoo? Are we really supposed to believe that these students were like originally animals that somehow evolved into humans? Hang on. No. We're not even talking about just a normal zoo anymore. This is some mad scientist sci-fi bullshit. This is not something a normal zoo does. But wait a second. Remember, it didn't say zookeepers or zoo staff set up the habitat camera. It was specifically scientists, meaning there is some kind of scientific research going on. Okay, you know what? Fine, whatever. I am going to entertain this stupid idea. Here's how I think this could work. The students at East High were all former animals that scientists experimented on, speeding up their evolution process and transforming them into humans. They were placed inside of an elaborate exhibit inside of the San Diego Zoo that was meant to replicate a human high school environment so that scientists could study their behavior. The scientists even set up real-time habitat cameras disguised as normal school security cameras on the ceilings.
Maybe we're being punked. Maybe we're being filmed right now.
For the most part, the zoo animals act like completely normal humans, but some animalistic traits still appear, like how they all stick within their very specific animal packs and herds.
The drama geeks and the brainiacs suddenly think that they can talk to us.
Troy, I would consider myself an expert in that particular subspecies.
It's like a jungle up here.
Yeah, just like that cafeteria.
Also, there's the fact that Troy is always climbing trees like an animal.
What the heck are those two doing in a tree?
Another top secret hiding place. And what is it with you and trees?
I guess I see things more clearly from up here.
But what exactly are the scientists trying to achieve with these experiments? Why turn animals into humans and put them inside of a fake school? Well, to answer that, I think we need to take a closer look at Taylor McKessie. If this theory is true, then Taylor seems like the one character who would be aware of it.
Behold the zoo animals heralding the new year. From lowly Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon, Troy Bolton represents one side of evolution. I would consider myself an expert in that particular subspecies.
But why? What's so special about her?
Chem Club President Taylor McKessie.
And if those science girls get Gabriella hooked up with Troy Bolton.
Taylor is the head of the science club. She knows so much about what's going on because she is one of the scientists secretly running the zoo. And what is Taylor's goal in this movie?
Troy Bolton represents one side of evolution, and our side, the side of education and accomplishment, is the future of civilization. This is the side where you belong.
She wants Gabriella to stay away from Troy so that she can better use her intelligence for the good of mankind. And Taylor's not even exaggerating here. Gabriella is actually a genius who could change the world.
I don't want to be the school's freaky genius girl again.
Wow, an Einsteinette.
A judge at an academic competition said they have never seen someone so poised and scholastically accomplished, and her future burns brighter than 1,000 suns. Holy shit. The entire reason scientists are turning animals into humans at this zoo is to create super intelligent subjects like Gabriella that could later go on to help mankind. That's why I think East High is actually a human zoo. Oh, and I guess the experimentation also has the side effect of making them sing sometimes. You know, I kind of forgot that the point of these theories was to answer why the characters sing. I think I got a little carried away with this one, but that's okay, because I have saved my personal favorite answer to this mystery for the final and best theory in this video. We have officially reached the deepest layer of this theory iceberg. Get ready for the most insane, most ridiculous, most batshit crazy High School Musical theory you will ever hear. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, this one's not actually as crazy as Zoo Theory. I don't think I can actually get any more ridiculous than that one. This one's somewhere between Breaking Bad and Human Zoo. I mean, it's still pretty far down there. But the reason I saved this one for last is because not only is it my personal favorite answer to this mystery, but I believe that it is the answer that is most likely intended by the filmmakers. Out of all of these theories, I actually think this one has a really good chance of being true. This is the Miss Darbus theory.
Who the fuck is that?
So, something at East High is forcing the characters to break out into song and dance against their will, and then seemingly forget about it. But what is actually the point of these fantasy musical numbers? They cause characters to express their inner truth.
And now suddenly people are confessing.
Inside I am stirring, something strange is occurring. It's a secret I need to share.
Troy sings about his secret desire to be in the musical. Zeke admits he loves baking. Chad comes out of the closet. The singing
Wait, I knew it!
forces them to confess their inner truth, and it ultimately helps them discover who they really are. And you know who's constantly talking about this exact same thing? Miss Darbus. Miss Darbus is East High's drama teacher, and she is constantly talking about how the theater and the musical arts can help kids express themselves.
This is where the true expression of the artist is realized, where inner truth is revealed. The stage can be a wonderful partner in the process of self-discovery.
This is where inner truth is revealed. It's a wonderful partner in self-discovery. Doesn't that sound exactly like what's happening to these students? And she even talks about the theater like it has some kind of supernatural divine power.
Proximity to the arts is cleansing for the soul. The theater is a temple of art, a precious cornucopia of creative energy.
Is it possible that Miss Darbus is actually aware of what's really going on at this school? Well, to answer that, we need to take a look at her reaction to Troy's non-diegetic song in High School Musical 3. So this is the part in all of these movies where Troy is upset and he's bad at basketball and he wants to sing about being upset. So he breaks into the school at like the middle of the night and sings the iconic song, Scream. This is clearly supposed to be a non-diegetic fantasy song where basketballs appear out of nowhere and the hallways literally turn upside down, and it ends with Troy back in the school's theater.
Miss D?
Troy realizes Miss Darbus is also there, and they have this very interesting exchange.
And the reason for your visit is?
I don't know. I think I feel like this is a good place to
scream?
Or just to think.
Miss Darbus says that Troy came here to scream, clearly referencing the song he just sang, but then Troy corrects her and says, no, I was just thinking.
This is a good place to
Scream?
or just to think.
Troy believes that he was just thinking to himself because he's unaware of the fact that he just sang an entire non-diegetic song. But Miss Darbus is clearly very aware of what really happened.
Scream?
And she's not confused by it like other characters. She is absolutely aware of what's happening to these students, but why? Who is Miss Darbus?
I know who she is. She's the plug that supplies the good stuff that goes into Zeke's cooking. It all makes sense. She's the one that's giving all the good stuff to Zeke's cooking. These theories tie into each other.
Really? Well, that's a tough question to answer, because we don't ever really get any of her backstory, except for maybe the occasional vague one-off line.
Better to consider opportunities now than in 10 years when life may limit your choices.
Better to...
Bro, that quote sucks.
Consider opportunities before life limits your choices. Kinda sounds like she's maybe talking from personal experience. Did something happen in her life that limited her choices? Maybe she wanted to be a Broadway star, but then got stuck as a high school drama teacher. I don't know. I mean,
sucks.
like I said, it's hard to really understand Miss Darbus because we don't ever get to see what her life outside of East High is like. Trust me, I've rewatched all of her scenes many times, and I've never really found anything that was useful. But maybe that's because the answer isn't in those scenes. At 46 minutes and 8 seconds into the first High School Musical, for just a brief moment, we see a wall in the school that has been completely covered in writing. It says things you'd expect, like, "Go Wildcats," "Love the Wildcats," "Carol loves Tammy," all things you'd expect from the students at this school. But there is one thing on this wall that really stands out among the others. Something that legitimately gave me chills the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
A drawing labeled Miss Darbus with X's over her eyes.
Yo.
Now, I could understand a student writing something mean about a teacher they don't like, but this isn't just an insult. This is clearly a drawing of Miss Darbus dead. It feels like some kind of creepy school shooters drawing that really does not feel like it fits in with this very PG Disney Channel universe. I honestly can't think of any reason why they would include this depiction of Miss Darbus dead.
Why would they put that in a Disney movie?
Wait a second. When Troy broke into the school at night, why was Miss Darbus there?
Miss D?
She claims it was to get some schoolwork done, but like, why is she working on it in a very dark theater as opposed to, I don't know, her house? And look at how creepy she looks, just sitting there in the dark, secretly watching Troy. It's also weird that she just happened to be there on the one night Troy decided to break in. You know, come to think of it, it's not just that we never hear about Miss Darbus's life outside of the school, it's that we've never even seen her outside of the school grounds. Hang on, is Miss Darbus like a ghost? No, that's stupid. But wait, this isn't even the only time she's just magically appeared in the theater. The first time Troy and Gabriella try to audition for the musical, she tells them that they're too late, and we see her leave.
Perhaps the next musicale.
Troy and Gabriella decide to stick around and sing the song anyways, but then afterwards, Miss Darbus just appears in the theater again and acts like she heard the whole thing.
Yo, what the fuck?
Wow. That's nice.
Bolton, Montez, you have a callback.
What? We saw her leave. We could even see while they were singing she was not there. But then a whole 2 minutes later, she just suddenly appears again, acting like she heard the whole thing. Look, we could even see that her appearing scares the other students.
Bolton, Montez.
Yo.
She also has a very similar moment to this in the beginning of High School Musical 3.
Well, how much time will it take?
Yeah, and what the heck is the show about?
You, Mr. Danforth.
Danforth?
Like 5 seconds ago, we could see she was clearly not there. My favorite of these moments was in the cafeteria in High School Musical 1. After Gabriella accidentally spills her lunch on Sharpay, she just suddenly appears again.
Spawns out of nowhere.
You do not want to get into that, man.
What is going on?
Yo, where the fuck
It's like
did
a
she
jump
come
scare.
from?
Ah! Life limited Miss Darbus's choices. She's always at the school, always suddenly appearing out of nowhere. There's a drawing of her dead. She even talks like she's from a much older time.
Perhaps the most heinous example of cell phone abuse is ringing in the theater. What temerity!
And she hates any new modern technology.
Was that a cell phone?
No, ma'am, that was the warning bell.
This perfectly explains why everyone seems to have this supernatural musical spell over them that only she is aware of. Miss Darbus is a ghost that is haunting East High, and she is forcing these students to sing about their inner truth in order to help them discover who they really are. But let's hang on a second. The High School Musical franchise is just a bunch of grounded movies about kids in high school. There are no explicit supernatural elements in them. I don't think I can honestly claim that there's this secret, intentional, underlying message about ghosts haunting the schools in these movies. What? What, are you expecting me to just scream at you with some big, final surprise evidence? Come on, guys, I am not that predictable. High School Musical 3 was originally going to be a Halloween-themed movie called Haunted High School Musical and would have featured ghosts haunting East High. Yes, I am being 100% serious. This is real. This is actually what they were originally planning on doing with the final movie of the trilogy before they decided to scrap the idea. But we can still see hidden clues from this ghost subplot that I bet you they were planning on paying off in this movie, where it would have been revealed that Miss Darbus was actually a ghost all along, and she was the cause of all the students breaking out into song. And that is my final High School Musical theory. Thank you very much.
Yo, this is
also
insane.
They would have revealed that the school is actually a human zoo inside of Breaking Bad. Okay, bye.
Yo, is that the end?
Cool. Well, there you go. That is every possible High School Musical theory I can come up with. Let me know which theory you think was your favorite, and thank you for watching. I got more of these.
Yo, this was actually insane. I'm not even gonna lie. This was actually crazy. Like, it honestly doesn't even feel like I just watched like a whole. It really doesn't even feel like I just watched a whole hour-long video about High School Musical, the theory, but apparently I did. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like button. We're actually going crazy. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Comment down below if you guys watched High School Musical growing up. I know some of you guys might even be too young to where you didn't even watch that growing up, but if you did, make sure to comment down below. Let me think. Comment down below. If you guys made it this far, let's do a fun thing in the comments. Comment down below, I'm a cherry. Just comment down below, I'm a cherry. It'll confuse everyone. Everyone that doesn't make it to the end, they'll be like, why is everyone saying I'm a cherry? But I appreciate everyone for making it this far. This was actually insane. Also, comment down below which theory you agree with the most, 1 through 5. I honestly believe that last theory was that last theory was pretty spot on, but the best one, the one that's actually true, and I know this for a fact, is Tyrone/Zeke's cooking. 100% was affecting everyone and making them start acting like that. 100% that's what it was. It was just baking. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video too. This is my first YouTube video with this upgraded camera quality. If you guys check out my old YouTube video reactions, I look like I'm recording on a potato, but now I look crispy AF and you can see everything. Plus my mic should sound a lot better. I got a way better mic. We're just upgrading everything, getting the production quality way better in here. And I can't believe you guys are still watching. This is a whole hour-long video. What are you guys still doing watching this? But if you guys are watching, I appreciate you guys for sticking around so long. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Yo, let's get it. Let's get it. I'll see you guys there. Caw-caw! Yes, sir. I'm really out here. All right, I'll see you guys there. Thank you guys for watching.